and death of Jesus, Lord, who helps me. Being taught, the sovereign Lord has
Ethan, table of electronics.
I'm Max. I play the guitar and the tape player. The do-over.
And I'm Andrew, and I'm the vocalist. And we are Blank Hellscape. Yeah, I would say that I hope people take away from us that, like, anyone can do what we do.
Everyone should do. Everybody should have a band. If we can do it, so anybody can do it.
Yeah, it's good for the mind and it's good for the soul, you know what I mean? To just make something. I'm not a musician, you know, like, I don't know how to play guitar or drums or anything. And so, like, I talk to people, and I'm like, oh, you actually can play instruments. Why you start a band, you know?
Right.
I think there needs to be less bands so our value goes up.
Yeah.
So we began back like 2017-ish. My old band and Ethan solo, we would play together a lot, especially at this one club in town, Beerland. And then Ethan was like, hey, let's like do something. Let's like jam, start something. And then we started doing that, and then that became Blank Hellscape. And Max like ran sound, booked the shows at Beerland, and like Max would always book us for the first like half year or so of us being a band, and then we started recording with Max. And in the process of us like recording with Max, he just started playing with us. And then that's when, like about a year after we started, that's when we became like us three as like Blank Hellscape.
The first show with me was, we were at Fantastic Fest watching a movie, and then we got like a text, and it was like, does Blank Hellscape want to jump on the show at Hotel Vegas in like 2 hours? And then we were just all together, and then y'all were like, you should hop in and play with us. And it was Sure.
I think, well, part of it kind of deals with the history because when it was just me and Ethan, we did sound a little bit different, right? And then once we added Max, for like a while it was like Max joining in and playing the songs that me and Ethan had already written. And then I feel like we really kind of changed once we started writing songs like with Max, you know what I mean? Where we went from like, I don't know, kind of like noise, industrial bands now, we're just whatever we are now.
I feel like, yeah, like probably over COVID.
Yeah, and
it was
over
like the most noticeable change, just because we were just playing so much.
Yeah, we would practice and jam like once or twice a week during COVID. Like they were like basically the only people I saw.
Yeah. And I feel like once we started playing shows again, then that was like another kind of change.
Yeah, totally. Where it was like, we were like, okay, we're gonna introduce a lot more like dancey techno elements.
Dance music, explosions.
Yeah. I definitely feel like after COVID, we also started like improvising live a lot more.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more.
Like we went from like, okay, we have like a set list before every show to like, oh, let's do like noise and then beats and then whatever, you know?
We've been playing so long together that like we kind of like have a sort of like telepathy where like we kind of know what we're gonna do next, but we also don't know like what we're gonna do next. But it's like you could do 100 Blank Hellscape shows and they would all be different, but they also would kind of follow a similar arc. And they would have like similar cues and like and it's helpful because like with our schedules not aligning, like we're not able to practice or play shows that much, and it's like kind of cool that we can be apart for so long and come back together and it's like not really missing a beat.
Yeah, like we've been playing together so long that we play live and I could not see Ethan for like 2 months.
Yeah.
But we'll be playing, I'm like, okay, I think I know where he's gonna go like next, you know? So it's like I'm gonna emphasize my certain lyric or whatever this way because I think Ethan's gonna do that, you know what I mean? And it's usually right. Yeah. Like we don't even need to think about it. It's like I think Ethan's gonna do something weird right now.
I don't even need to hear them anymore.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago, Ethan was like, we just have to drop the best record. He's like, that's the solution to all our problems. We just have to drop the best record.
Pretty obvious.
I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, I felt pretty stupid when he said that. I was like, that's a good point. the songs have come about in kind of a less conventional way, where we were just like mining through this archive of jams that we had from just like 5 years prior, like 5 years worth of jam sessions, and we were taking these parts and then editing them down or putting them together with other pieces, or like doing like a and B part, or like layering stuff on top, and we were kind of like faking songs, like kind of like writing them after the fact.
Especially on this our most recent album, Hell 2, we were like, okay, we have so much material. Like, we made like a real effort to have like shorter songs. And I think that did really well for the album. We just had so much material, and it was like, okay, kind of like parsing down, figuring out what was good, and you know, like the thing of taking that, okay, this is like a 15-minute long jam with like 5 different parts. Can we condense that into like a 4.5-minute song?
Also, all of that came out of like just doing so many live shows and having so much improv in the live show. It's like there's kind of only one way to capture that, and it was just to make your living room into like a venue, and then like record the like show, record it like it's a show.
Yeah, because there's a certain kind of magic, like totally, where improvising, where you can find like something like you would never like get to if you had like a writing session. Kind of, there are parts that spring up organically that are like awesome, and that's like a really cool thing to capture that.
Being a fringe band, yeah, I mean, it absolutely makes it harder to be on bills and harder to be in the press. That's pretty evident to me.
Yeah, but it would be cooler. Like, it's cooler that we're not.
It's cooler that we're not.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to be... It's like a weird relationship with it, because it's like I don't want to be like in media, and I don't want to be playing fake shows, but at the same time I am kind of like, oh, we kind of are ignored by a large group of people, and it is just really funny whenever you think about that. Yeah, like there are fans for sure, and I like appreciate that, but it's like, I think it's funny that we're not taken seriously. I think that's kind of where I feel. Yeah, it's like we've been a band for 8 years. We have like 7 records. Like we've been on tour 9 times. Like what more do you want? Like how much more legit? And that's what I think I think it is the music that does it. I think people like look at the music and they're like, those fucking guys, like, it's just like, don't take it seriously. It's like, we're the same as any other band. We just don't sound the same.
like bullshit when it comes to like if you look at the way that like algorithms attempt to even do extreme music. Like a lot of the times, like noise records will get denied distribution. Songs will get taken off for just being noise, shit like that. That's why there's not like a lot of noise tapes on fucking whatever thing besides Bandcamp or YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like there's also like a much like everything nowadays. There's a stupid algorithmic thing about it. You know, where it's just algorithm bullshit.
Yeah.
Only cares about it. Like creates these big balls of music that sounds the same, and that's the way it's processed. So if you're outside of that, it's hard. It's like we're not gonna come up on your fucking shoegaze station.
Totally. I remember when Bandcamp shadow banned the harsh noise tag.
Yeah.
So if you like made an album that was and you tagged it with harsh noise, that it would like not show up in like the discovery. It would not show
Yeah.
up like in searches. Like it was hard to search the tag. It was like they like denied it for so long, and now they're like capitalizing on like harsh noise as like a meme, which is like a funny thing.
Stupid too.
Stupid
I hate
too.
that.
I really hate that.
I hate like how noise is mean. It's bad.
Yes,
Yeah. It's very bad.
it's very bad, and it's like the more it becomes a meme, like the more people still don't go to noise shows.
Yeah,
I know.
Which is
Yeah,
really funny.
yeah.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about it to me.
Yeah.
Is that noise is never going to be popular, but it's always going to be stolen from.
Yeah.
Always.
Unless I can do something to change that. Then I heard the first knock on the door. It's one of my neighbors. They said they heard some commotion. I said I'm fine. I just slipped. I always feel like I'm slipping. Then I heard the second knock on my door.
We definitely currently have sold more records than like people that listen to us on like Spotify and bullshit like that.
Oh yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, we definitely do better in physical media than we do in streaming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we kill physical.
I mean, I feel like that is just sort of a good statement on like streaming versus physical media, and like the kind of music that streaming enables versus the kind of music that physical enables. Not saying that either one is better or worse, but it's like tape culture exists within this like noise like realm.
I lose track of time after that. I don't dream anymore because I never sleep. But I see things that aren't there. I keep seeing my dog, wretched and tripping, staring at me. My house is filled with smoke. My walls and furniture are decayed. No matter how much I clean them, everything has been poisoned.
So there is like a few good things about the Austin music scene. One of which is Ham, the Help Lines for Austin Musicians. All of us are on Ham.
I skipped my dentist appointment today.
Oh no. There's a lot of good bands. Granted, there's a lot of bands in general, you know? Like, it's not like Austin bands are automatically any better, and mostly they're not. But, you know, there's like cool bands here. There's like definitely a good, like, people are energized. People like going out to support music. I don't know. I feel like there's a lack of venues right now.
Yeah, there's no venues, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
And then my whole spiel is always like, if you don't have a venue, if you don't have a place where bands can play and specifically start out playing, then you won't get many new bands. You're only going to get bands that are like veteran musicians starting new bands, and so the scene kind of shrinks and stagnates a little bit because it's just the same bands playing the same shows. And it's like, there might be 10 really great bands here, but it's kind of like just every show is just like a different combination of those 10.
Yeah.
I just wish that like specifically younger people, like I know that there's probably stuff that I don't even know about, like there's co-op shows and like stuff that I'm not seeing, house shows, but like specifically younger people are always going to be the people who make the coolest music, and I wish that they were sort of like fostered a little bit more to like play shows with people and like be a little bit more adventurous with music. And, it's just hard.
The venue that we played our first shows at was venue Beerland. It's not around anymore. And that was a great incubator club. Like, all of my first bands played their first show at Beerland. You know, like my first band and Blank Hellscape and whatever other projects I had when I was like 22 or whatever, you know, because it was like it was an awesome place, but it was like pretty low barrier of entry, and that was awesome because Spearland was open every day of the week for some reason. And would just fill time. You know, it's like if you wanted to play a show at Beerland, you would get a Tuesday, but you would get a show. You would get a show.
Get someone running the board.
Yeah, and then there would probably be 5-10 people there who are also probably musicians, and sometimes like shit, you would see something really cool,
right?
You know,
and that sort of is maybe a global issue, but with just how everything has become very commercialized, that you get more and more people who are like looking at that and saying like, well, how do you make money off of that? How do you make money off of people playing to 5 people? And it's like, you don't. That's the point. That's why it's great.
Yeah.
You don't make money off of it. You just have to let it happen for the arts. Like in order for art to happen, you have to not care about money. It's also like all of this stuff is not sustainable, which is like part of the beauty of it, but it's like this bookstore that does shows is not going to last forever. Like,
No.
there's like no way that that'll be around forever.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that, especially in Austin.
Yeah, where there's nowhere has a DIY space that lasts for
Right.
ever, you know?
It's always temporary.
Yeah, like,
Because the world just isn't built for that. Yeah, definitely. When I was like growing up and I was like getting in, I was like, I've always been really into music, but I always just thought that I was really bad at playing just because like I like was just bad, you know, for such a long time, and people thought that I was bad or whatever, and I was afraid to like show people what I was doing, and I sort of just had to lean into that. I just sort of had to like, and it took forever, but I had to just like ignore this voice that was telling me like you're not good enough, and just like throw myself into it, because it's the only way that you will ever play a show. That's the only way that you'll ever record something and put it out, is you have like you have to kind of go against that.
I've begun the writing process for like lyrics of the next album.
We kind of like
Yeah.
burned everything. This is like the first time everything,
Yeah.
for all of my projects, this is
Yeah.
the first time everything has been burned.
No
so
back
it's like
catalog.
there's no back catalog for anything I have right now. So it's like, that's why I think I'm being a little bit more purposeful. Is like, oh, just play the tours without thinking about that type of stuff, and then, you know, in the winter when you have free time, just do it all day.
Yeah.
So it's cool to have like a fresh plate, to be like, if we do go into the studio just with the idea of writing, we're kind of starting from scratch probably
Mhm.
on everything.
Definitely.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. See you later.
Thank you all very much. We're Blank Hellscape. Really happy the show came together. Thank you, Leche, Water Damage, K9, Touch Girl, Apple Blossom. K9's on tour. A lot of bands have merch back there. Thank you very much. Free Palestine.